Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster 1.5. Let's go ahead and take care of just some final logistics. Let's go ahead and put this back here. We'll shuffle a bunch. Shuffle this a bunch. We'll deal with that later. Shuffle this a bunch. That a bunch. That a bunch. That a bunch. That a bunch. And, our last event was Cracks on the Ground, which doesn't seem to affect anything as far as departing is concerned. It did disable all home endeavors, which in our case would have been bed. Other than that, it was fine. Our survival limit is now up to 8, thanks to pottery. There's also another benefit for pottery, which I'll hopefully be able to show off this upcoming hunt. We will be going after a tier 2 Screaming Antelope. And as for who we're taking, unfortunately we can't take Renazuki, so he will not be retiring just yet. But he had to miss I think it was torn muscle? I think he got torn muscle injury, and therefore he had to skip next hunt. Good news is Hatate and Ringo are back up and ready for another hunt, as the effects of the heat stroke and all that has worn off. So I kind of brought them in. I did a few more additional things. I've added specialization cards to those who have them, which is everybody but Shikieki right now. As for the team we're taking, we're going to have Yuka, of course, using her sword. If she survives this and gets a wound, she will become a sword master, which will make everyone a sword specialist, which will be awesome. So here's hoping. Besides that, pretty much standard kit. Nothing really has changed for her. She has Berserker now. Not that I really need it. Yep, that's all good and ready. We have Ringo back using Skullcap Hammer. She will have the Bone Sickle for now. In the future, it's probably best to have Bone Sickle and Bone Pick on the same person, simply because having the sickle on you when you go and do actually, it doesn't have to be on the same person. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Anyway, nothing too special about Ringo. She's going to be hopefully breaking some bones with the Skullcap Hammer. We have Hatate here doing the dual-wielding Beast Knuckles. Got the guitar specialization going. She is immortal. Her insanity is fine. Hers is fine. I can't really do much about insanity because I, of course, didn't. I dumped all my endeavors into face painting and failed miserably, unfortunately. But that's okay. And then we, of course, have Shikieki here with Orator of Death, which will help with the insanity during combat. She does have the Beacon Shield and the Counterweight Axe. If she survives this, she will become specialized in Axe. And she'll probably level up, which will be nice. Actually, a lot of people will level up this upcoming thing. Oh, and if Hitate survives this, she will become a Guitar Master, which will be nice. All right. With all that said and done, I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and set everyone up for combat. So Shikieki will handle first. She's going to get 2 survival, 4 survival from just her equipment, and then our departing survival is 4, I think. So that'll be maxing her out at 8. So put her at 8. Movement 6, that's fine. And then she's going to get 2 insanity from the hat. The armor set itself is 3 in all locations. And then a complete set adds another 1. Shrine's going to add another 1. And then the shield, the steel shield, or whatever it is, adds another 2. So sporting some tanky armor. Hitate will be maxed out at 8. Nothing else I think she gets. Nope, nothing else. Her armor set is 2 in all locations, plus 1 because of the full set, so 3. And then and plus 1 for Shrine, so 4. Ringo. Pretty much same thing as before. It's 3 in head, 3 in waist, 2 in the rest. Then plus 2 to all locations for the full set, and then another 1 for Shrine. She'll max out on survival. She'll get insanity on arrival, not on departure. And that should be it for her. And then, of course, we have Yuka, who's going to have 3s. Yeah, 3 in all locations. 1 for Rawhide, 1 for full set of Rawhide, and 1 for Shrine. So 3 in all locations. And her departing survival will be maxed out at 8. And that should be everything. And then we have Rhythm Chaser on Ringo. So she's going to get a +1 evasion token. Shikieki has Rhythm Chaser, but she has the Beacon Shield, which is heavy, so that's going to negate that. So it's not going to do anything. And that is it. So, with all that said and done, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start things off with the usual. We're going to do Herb Gathering. I'll open my book that's in front of me. And, alright, so usual thing, we'll do 4d10 for each of them. We'll start with Yuka. Nothing because doubles. Ringo. Hatate. Nothing because doubles. And Shikieki. Alright, so only Shikieki and Ringo got anything because they didn't roll doubles. Total is 48. 48 is gain 2 fresh Acanthus strange resources. If the settlement has cooking, gain 1 random vermin resource, and all survivors gain 3 survival. So, we don't have cooking, I don't think. I'm fairly certain we don't have cooking. Yeah, we don't have cooking yet. So we get 2 Acanthus plants, which is still amazing. Alright, so we get to distribute these 2, which is great because that means we don't need to really farm for it in combat. We'll give 1 to Shikieki and 1 to Yuka. Alright, and then next is going to be Hatate. I've already shuffled the Hunt event deck, so top card. Grazing Field. Acanthus leaves sprout from the crevices in the stone ground. The survivors spend time gathering and eating the small leaves. Each survivor may heal 1 hit location. Doesn't matter, we're at full. If any survivor has a sickle, they gain 1 fresh Acanthus strange resource. And then we have to roll a random hunt event. So, +1 Acanthus. To the person that has the sickle, which is Ringo. There we go. Alright, got that good and going. And then next, I need to roll for a hunt event, so let's do that. $99. That sounds scary. Okay, Porculus. The survivors approach a massive porculus standing in the darkness. As always, I apologize for the resolution. It is not attached to anything and does not bar their way. They may choose to walk around it. If they do, roll again on the hunt event table before moving on the hunt board. If the survivor has the porculus key, they may erase it from the settlement record sheet and use it. Each survivor gains +1 courage, and then we do the porculus stuff. I don't think we have the key. Fairly certain we don't have the key. I'm pretty sure I would put it in here if I was. Oh, actually, before we depart, I need to correct something. Can't use 2-handed weapons. Shikieki is missing an arm. So, prior to departing, we'll just use a different thing. She was originally using the cleaver anyway, so it's better she use this anyway. I was going to use the two-handed weapon simply because it has reach, but Shikieki only has 1 arm, so that's my bad. I forgot about that. Alright. Is there anything else I need to know about? I don't think so. Nope. Alright. And then if we don't have the key, that's it. Okay, so that's all that happens. Doesn't look like anyone has the porculus key. I've kind of lost track of that thing. I always do. And so we go ahead and move on. It goes to Shikieki, who's going to do another D100 event. 51. Refugees. The survivors encounter a group of fleeing settlers. If the settlement has symposium and language, the survivors manage to crudely communicate. Survivors may offer a resource or gear to help the distressed refugees. If they do archive the offering, the refugees frantically share their mournful tale. While much is lost in translation, they relate the savage invasion of a monster that destroyed their home. The tale prepares the survivors for what lies ahead. At the start of the showdown, reveal the top 5 AI cards of the AI deck and put them back in any order. If any survivor has the leader fighting art, one of the settlers is drawn to their charisma, gain +1 population. Unfortunately, I don't think I have leader. No, our leader is somebody else. Or I think I might have... No, I do have leader. Yeah, I do. There it is, leader. Ringo the leader. Okay. So, we get +1 population. Well, if we offer an item. We have to offer an item. We do have Symposium, we do have language. And remember, when we initially started, we weren't able to communicate with each other. We had to innovate for language. Or we essentially had to... Our first breakthrough, essentially, was language. So, I need to get rid of a resource, which is going to be a dried acanthus. I can't spare anything else. I could spare a monster grease, actually. I might spare a monster grease. I mean, it does give me 2 evasion right now, but I have a spare in the settlement. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of monster grease. It will make Ringo a little bit more vulnerable, but she has the 2nd highest armor, so she should be okay. So with that, we have this ability now where we can look at the top 5 of the AI deck, which is actually super useful. And it's at the start of the showdown, so I can literally decide what the first action of the Antelope is. If any survivor has the leader fighting art, yeah, so we do have the leader fighting art, so we do get +1 population. Speaking of +1 population, our newest person that we picked up during the Overwhelming Darkness is Ren. And that is it. I think I've already mentioned that. I don't remember. But for sake of simplicity, I'm just going to duplicate her and save changes. Because she has all the stats that are necessary for someone that's not a newborn. Okay. Also, did I include her population? Wow, that's loading super slow. Am I... Okay, there we go. Alright, so +1 population. It'll be another theme. We'll just save it for later. We'll do it after the showdown and all that. Alright, and that is it. That was a good event. And that was one of the few times where the leader actually came through for me. So, that takes care of that. We did lose a monster grease, but I'm okay with that. It just takes 1 organ to get another one. Next is going to be Ringo, who's going to go and take a look at the next top card. Stampede. Alright, a thunderous boom approaches. The survivors may hide. If they do, move the quarry 1 space back. Otherwise, all survivors gain +1 courage, and the event revealer rolls 1d10. Everyone gets +1 courage, because I'm going for it. +1 courage. You're maxed. +1 courage. Yeah, 2 of them are maxed. Alright, and then we roll 1d10. This could potentially start our showdown early. Trampled. All survivors suffer 2 event damage to each hit location. So we get a bit wrecked. So 2 damage to all hit locations as we get wrecked. But that's alright. Alright, well, I could re-roll, but I'm not going to. Alright, next, Yuka. D100 event. 55. Mudslide. A flash mudslide sweeps the survivors away. Each survivor rolls 1d10. If any survivor has a whip, they catch... Okay, they do not have to roll. So each survivor has to roll, and we'll see what we can do. Alright, so we'll roll in the order of the tabs above. So Yuka, Ringo, Hatate, and Shikieki. 3, 5, 9, and 10. So Yuka, you managed to scramble free, but not before taking a serious beating. Suffer 2 event damage to your body and archive all fragile and soluble gear in your gear grid. None of her stuff is fragile or soluble. Okay, so, but she does take 2 damage to the body. A bit rough. And then our next one is 5, which is the same thing for Ringo. Thankfully, they got rid of the fragile on the tools. Alright, yeah, she doesn't have anything that's soluble or anything like that. Actually, it could have been the monster grease. I could have lost that. Yep, I would have lost monster grease if I had kept it. So, good thing I got rid of it ahead of time. So, 2 damage to her chest. We're definitely going to be coming into this fight rather beat up, more than I expected. Then it's 9 and 10. 9 is you reach higher ground, you're caked in mud, but are otherwise unscathed. And then you remember being pulled under, the sensation of mud forcing itself down your throat, then nothing else. After the mudslide passes, the other survivors find you unharmed. Gain +1 insanity. Alright, so nothing happens to Hitate, and Shikieki gets +1 insanity. Alright. Next. This hunt is beating the tar out of us. So next will be Hitate, D100 event. 51. We just got that one. Yes, we did. Same thing as before. It's refugees. I'm just not going to give another piece of gear. I mean, I'll get +1 population, which will be kind of nice. I'll have Shikieki give up her acanthus plant. And we'll get another +1 population. I mean, we can pretty much use these people, even though they don't have the best stats or any skills or proficiencies. They do have a reroll, and they also have they have a reroll, and they can essentially be used for breeding. Essentially, also increasing our population. That's going to bring us up to 30. Which means we'll get another endeavor from Collective Toil, which is nice. So, not too bad. Alright, next is Overwhelming Darkness. So let's go ahead and do that. So everyone does Path of the Brave, no one's deaf. So, 4d10. Order of the tabs above, so Yuka, Ringo, Hitate, and Shikieki. Alright. Overwhelming Darkness. Alright. We'll start with Yuka. Yuka got 7. Suffer with your lantern held high. You cut a path through the teeming darkness. Suffer 1 bit damage to your arms. Boop. Ringo has a 5. We'll do hers in a bit. And then Hitate is 2. Okay, so Hitate's going to punch herself in the face and get a -1 accuracy token. Shikieki got the 1, which means she could spend all her survival to get +1 population. So we're getting a lot of people from this. So I'll make another copy. Got it. Alright. And then the reason why I want to do Ringo last is simply because Ringo is the one that is, you vomit in fear but keep a brave face. Or sorry, a massive whale swims overhead, your guts quiver with its booming cries, you vomit in fear but you keep a brave face, gaining -1 evasion token, which is not going to be too bad. And then after this event, all other survivors gain +1 survival from your bold display. So it says after the event, so it wouldn't really matter about the order. So that's just going to get Shikieki back to 1 survival. Alright, and that takes care of that. Next is Mineral Gathering. So the only person that rolls is the person with the pickaxe, which is Shikieki. So we'll roll 1d10. 9. 8+. Gain 1 scrap basic resource. So we will So it specifically says scrap and not broken lantern. But I'm going to use a broken lantern just because it is a scrap, just to show that I have it. So gain that. It won't count towards the deck limitations. If this event occurs after overwhelming darkness, you find a cave, resolve all rolls on mineral gathering, then any survivor may descend to the worm tunnels. So anyone can do this. So the question is, who do I want to send? So the way this works, I'll go ahead and show the page again, because I think this is the first time we've ever done the caves. I do want to do it because it's something I haven't done yet. But essentially, the way it works is there's these caves. Like I said, this is the old version, so it's not correct. Essentially, the way it works is worm tunnels is if you have a sickle, you get +2. Crystal Lake, if you have a whip, you get +2, and then Lantern City, if you have the almanac, is +2. So we do have a sickle. So I was thinking of sending Ringo. And I don't think anyone's in. It's definitely don't send anyone that's deaf because they're they're very vulnerable in the worm tunnels. So we'll go ahead and do Ringo 1d10 +2 because she has a sickle. 6. You blunder in the darkness, lost and separated from the other survivors. A voice whispers to you, leading you back. Lose 2 survival and gain +2 insanity. If you are deaf, you do not heed the voice and disappear in the dark. You are dead. So she is not deaf, thankfully. So she will lose 2 survival but gain 2 insanity. I'm going to go ahead and send in. So the rest of the people, if I send them in, they're going to only get 1d10. And if we roll 8+, we can potentially get some decent stuff. So we did Ringo. I don't want to send Shikieki because she doesn't have much survival. I think I'll send Hitate. Yeah, I'll send Hitate and see how she does. So 1d10, no bonuses. 1. You spend too much time in the tunnels, lose half your survival, rounded down. If you are insane, strike up a conversation with yourself and gain reign of disorder. Well, that happened. It was bound to happen eventually. Disorders, I've already shuffled. Weak spots. When you gain disorder, roll random hit location and record it. You cannot depart unless you have armor at this location. You have an imaginary infirmity. Alright, I need to roll a hit location, so 1d6. 2 is waste. So there you go. So weak spot waste. I don't really have a way of this is the bunch here. Yeah, so weak spot, we'll just have this here as a reminder. Alright, that was it for her. She loses half for survival rounded down, so she goes down to 4. And I'm going to go ahead and do Yuka. See if she can get anything. 1d10. 7, almost. She's not deaf, so it's not a big deal. She'll get +2 insanity and lose 2 survival. Alright, so all we really got from that was a scrap, unfortunately. If we had gotten 8+, we could have either gotten an iron, or you can choose to gain... or you could spend 2 survival to go even deeper and go to Crystal Lake, and then Crystal Lake has the potential of getting you a bunch of stuff as well. And if you get all the way down to Lantern City and roll above, you have essentially a 60% chance that you'll get either a ton of iron and scrap and stuff like that, or potentially just get anything you want from the blacksmith. So overall, pretty good. Anyway, then we have the hunt event itself. So let's go ahead and do that. Migration. Some unseen force has set off a massive migration. Nothing remains but uprooted acanthus plants and shattered ground ruined by hooves. Move the screaming antelope 3 spaces away from the survivors on the hunt board. Bye-bye. Whee! Alright, then it goes to us again. D100 event. 65. Statue. Cresting a hill. Cresting a hill, the survivors find a statue of a man sitting on a throne. If any survivor has 5 understanding, the survivors may ignore the statue and end this event. Okay, so yeah, this is the one where if you get drawn to it, and then you essentially become the new statue, and the statue becomes a person, and you get their stuff, and that's pretty much it. And there's also if we have Memento Mori, we can do some additional stuff as well, but we don't have that. Do we? I'm fairly certain we don't have Memento Mori. No, that would fall under storytelling, I think. Alright, so I think I have somebody with 5 understanding. Yep, Yuka has 6, as does Ringo. Hatate has 9. So yeah, we're just going to ignore this event and not suffer anything. Alright, so that's good. Next, Shikieki. Dead Antelope. Survivors are struck by the scent of rotting meat wafting from a hulking corpse ahead. The event revealer may lead the survivors to investigate. If they do, gain 1 random vermin resource, 2 screening antelope resources, and roll 1d10. On a result of 7+, the survivors are startled by the arrival of the antelope's killer, a white lion. In the hunt now, start a showdown with a white lion 1 level higher than the quarry. And using the setup rules, add a dead monster trank card to the showdown. If they don't investigate, roll a random hunt event. All right. So if we get caught by this, we will fight a level 3 white lion for good times. Anyway, a random in the quarry or the highest level available. Actually, I might check that because I haven't unlocked level 3 yet because I haven't hunted a level 2 yet. So I'll look it up if necessary. One way or the other, it'll be a different fight. We do get a random vermin, which I've already shuffled that deck, so I'll go ahead and grab it. We get a sword beetle, 30% chance to kill you instantly, but there's a 50% chance you'll get +1 strength if you eat it. And then 2 screaming antelope resources. I've already shuffled this, but I'll shuffle it one more time. 1 and 2. Large flat tooth and muscly gums, +1 insanity for a survivor of our choice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We'll give it to Hitate. And now we have to roll 1d10. 1. Okay, we're good to go. So we won't get murdered by potentially a level 3 white lion. A level 3 white lion would have 14 toughness, +2 speed, +2 damage, +2 accuracy tokens, +1 luck token, which means you can't crit on a 10 like usual, and then of course has merciless and indomitable, and it's just all bad all the time. But if you kill one, of course, you get a bunch of good stuff. All right, so that takes care of that event. We got one more D100 event before we actually finally catch up to this antelope. 73. Golden Ember. The survivors the way forward is blocked by dense gold fleck smoke. If the survivors had the final lantern, it guides them through the smoke without any trouble in this event. The survivors may push ahead and brave the smoke. If they do, each survivor gains +1 courage, and the event revealer rolls 1d10. If they don't brave the smoke, they take the long way around, roll again on the hunt event table before moving onwards. Holy cow, there's a lot to this. So, if we... essentially we roll it once. If we fail, everyone's going to get a random disorder. If we pass, we can end the event or explore the crater. And if we explore the crater, if we have survival of the fittest, it will kill us if we investigate. On a 1, you can get a broken lantern. You can get 2 endeavors. And if we get to the end, okay, so yeah, essentially all this would do in the best case scenario is it would add the Hooded Knight to the event timeline. Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't do anything. We have the Twilight Sword. We already have Hooded Knight on the timeline, so we don't need to worry about any of that. So at best, we could get +2 endeavors, or potentially a broken lantern. So our options is we can either take the 50-50 to get a random disorder for everybody, or we just roll again on the hunt table and hope we get something different. I think I kind of want to just roll again on the table and take the chance of potentially getting something worse. But I don't want to deal with the smoke. So, boop. 45. Jagged Valley. Well, sounds like I'm going to be even. A valley of sharp white stones opens before the survivors, looking just like a toothy maw. As the survivors push and climb through the jagged spikes, or spines, they find that even the shallowest nick bleeds profusely. Each survivor suffers 1 event damage to the body. Unless the survivor has bandages to patch up their wounds, all survivors gain +2 bleed tokens. If any survivor has a pickaxe, they may try to convince the others to let them investigate more. If they are convinced, roll 1d10. So if we, with a pickaxe and we choose to investigate, there's a 10% chance it will, we find out it's a mouth and it will try to eat us. Otherwise, we can get potentially 1 iron and a hissing cockroach. And then it'll force us to essentially roll again on the hunt table. A little bit dangerous, but a hissing cockroach. Don't we have that already? We have a sword beetle. Okay. So everyone's going to take 1 damage to the body, and then we don't have bandages on us, so everyone's going to get 2 bleed tokens. So Yuka's going to have heavy wound in the body already. God, that's just brutal. It's probably just noticeable simply because we have armor to actually lose. Well, that takes care of that. Next, do I want to go ahead and... There's a 10% chance everyone's going to lose 1 survival. That's about it. So I'm actually okay with investigating. It will force us to roll again on the hunt table, but I'm okay with that. So roll 1d10. 5. The white stone is extremely hard. When survivors finally break through, a horde of bugs scuttle forth from the hole. Gain 1 hissing cockroach vermin resource. This excavation is time-consuming, blah, 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 blah. We have to roll again. Search. Hissing cockroach. Boop. So what this thing does is archive this to lose all survival and gain 2d10 insanity. If you are insane, you must consume this. Alright. Well, I will give that to... Oh, I forgot about insanity. I forgot about immortal. While you're insane, convert all damage dealt to you. Yeah, so in the case of Hitate, she took So the way let's go ahead and reset. She had 4 in all locations. She got trampled, which would have been 2, and then 2, then 2, then 2, then 2, then 1. So that's what would have happened to her. And that also meant that. But when did we get trampled? We got trampled second tile. So yeah, I forgot about the immortal thing again, like usual. So it was on the second one, and we didn't get hit. Okay, so that means she doesn't get the disorder. I'm fairly sure, because she wasn't insane, so she didn't talk to herself. I'm just going to check that table again real quick. So, mineral gathering. If you were insane, okay, so she was not insane during the mineral gathering, so no weak spot. Alright, good to know. Boop. Alright, we got the hissing cockroach, which means who's this go to? Survivor carrying the pickaxe. Okay, so that's Shikieki, which means she has to eat the hissing cockroach. So, if you are insane, you must consume this. So we'll go ahead and roll 2d10 and see what she gets. This could potentially kill her. 8. Okay, it does not kill her. Well, it wouldn't have killed her immediately. It would have killed her after the fight. So she's at 16. She has no survival. And then this gets archived back into the deck. Alright. Takes care of all that. Next. We have to do another D100 event. 13. Overlord. The event revealer falls to their knees, sobbing uncontrollably. They're simply had too much. Lose D10 survival and... Okay, it's only the event revealer, which is Ringo. So roll 1d10. Boop. Loses 1. Thank you. I could not afford to lose more. If the settlement has accepted darkness, we don't have accepted darkness. And gets 1 random... Okay, there's an option for this. Okay, so first I need to get the random disorder. So let's do that real quick. I've already shuffled. Exotic. If you are insane when you depart, gain +1 survival and +1 strength token. So that was for Ringo. Exotic. Okay. I'll pull that out real quick. Thank you. Boop. Alright. Good job, Ringo. And then I need to roll 1d10 in a little bit. Alright, good enough. Alright, so if you have collected toil, we have to roll 1d10 with the event revealer again. So 1d10. 9. You briefly touch the bottom of your misery and return to full awareness. With the new experiences to share, if any survivors return to the settlement this year, gain +2 endeavors. Awesome. You know what? Not bad. Alright, with all that said and done, we finally reached the Antelope after it moved 3 spaces away from us. So, we got that going for us. We'll go ahead and get situated. On arrival, Ringo's going to get 3 insanity. She can remove 1 negative token thanks to Song of the Brave. Same thing for her Tate. And nothing else of note here. One thing I can do, I think at any time, is I could consume this Acanthus plant. Fully heal 1 hit location, including injury levels and armor points. I'm going to do that with Yuka. And bring this back to 3. I'll put her in a slightly better situation. It also means I can potentially get another fresh Acanthus on searching. So, I don't think anyone else is as bad as what Yuka was. Ringo is actually, but I don't. She doesn't have a plant. Oh, actually, I think Ringo does have a plant. She does. We're gonna go ahead and give her a plant then. And pop it. Boop. And I'll bring her back up to. It was 2 base, 4 for sets, and then 5. There you go. All right. It's one of the few times I've actually used Fresh Acanthus to heal myself. We don't need to worry too much about bleed, so having the 2 bleeds is not going to be the end of the world. Besides that, give me 1 second. All right. I was just putting a break in the video just in case. We'll go ahead and get ready with the showdowns. So I have a showdown. There we go. Screaming Antelope. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then let's go ahead and take those out. Bug patch, Canthus plants, 1, 2, 3. Where's bug patch? There it is. Okay, and then there we go. So stacking all those together. Bug patch, and then top 2, boop, and boop. Last Acanthus plant, that sucks, and then topple pillar. 5 spaces away from the monster. Alright. We'll put it right there. That's 5 spaces away. And then Acanthus plants. Shikieki literally has no survival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we can set up like that. And then let's go ahead and get the AI deck set up. And then after that, we can take a look at the top 5 cards and set up what the first barrage is going to be. Actually, I could do it like this. Boop. There we go. And hey everyone, Depressed Eeyore from the future. I'm just going to let you guys might have noticed a mistake I made. The AI deck only has 12 cards in it. It has 10 basic and 2 advanced. It should be 10 basic and 5 advanced. I did not catch this in time. Needless to say, you probably can guess that I probably defeated the Antelope one way or the other. I'm not going to bother rewinding or anything like that. There wasn't really any risk of me. Towards the end, I had pretty much full control over the fights, and there was no real danger of me dying. I was keeping characters away that could potentially get trap card, and just kind of whittling them down one way or the other. So there wasn't really any additional danger. It was just going to take a little bit longer. In all honesty, it was more of a bad thing for me because it means 3 less wound attempts, which means 3 less chances to crit. But like I said, I'm not going to bother rewinding it. It was my bad. But go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and let me from the past to go ahead and take this away. All right, top 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm thinking of putting Lone Rampage on top. Because it's pretty safe, to be honest. As long as we're not in the zone of death, that is. But other than that, it should be okay. We got back kick. All right. So the order is going to be Lone Rampage first. I'm doing this mainly because so we can take some brain damage right off the bat. I'm not too concerned beyond that. Because I don't exactly want anything else to mess with us. Or I could just have it do chow down. It wouldn't do anything. Yeah, I think that's going to be the idea. So, back kick on the bottom. Stomp and snort. Bite. Lone Rampage. I mean, doing it in the first action wouldn't do anything, but everything else would be bad. Because if it comes in up later, I could really get hurt badly. Because it's going to do 2 damage to all locations. Which, by the way, Stampede. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, it's just straight 2 damage. I was making sure it's not based off of monster level. Alright, and that is it for that. Monster does go first, as usual. So we'll turn you around this way. I did have priority target. Actually, yeah, I need to change this. So we do have 2 people that have anxiety. So what we can actually do is priority target automatically overrides any targeting rules and just makes them the target. So it's going to end up being I'll have to go for Ringo. So Ringo will be priority target. And just to make sure I did priority target correctly, I'll read up on it. Because it's not something we mess around with too much, even though I have anxiety. Priority target. Whenever a monster performs pick target action, the survivor of the priority target will always be picked. So there we go. Always be picked. And then this thing has a movement of 1, 2, 3, 8. So we'll just put it there. And then it'll keep moving forward. Okay. So what we need to do for our starting setup is that. Alright. That should do it. Okay. So our order of operations here is going to be back kick first. And the rest is fine. I'm okay with back kick being done first. Alright, monster controller is going to be Yuka first, and then it's going to go monster's turn. Back kick. So it's going to automatically target Ringo. Now there's 2 people with anxiety. The way it works is only one person can have it active at a time. So it would have been Hatate gained priority, and then Ringo would steal it. So there you go. So she's going to. That's the target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, out of range. And then Diabolical will trigger, and so it's going to charge forward in a straight line and hit the wall, or hit the edge of the board. Now it's our turn. Priority target is worn off, and it's our move. I'm going to go ahead and have Shikiyaki go first, and roll 1d10 to search the Acanthus plant. 7. +1 survival, thank you. So she has survival again. Boop. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of this plant. And then she's going to move down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason why I'm moving this way is so I don't get trampled. Alright, and that takes care of that, and then it's going to be, we're going to go ahead and have Ringo go first. She'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and attack it from the back. She's got Skullcap Hammer, no additional speed. So roll 2d10. She hits on base is 7, goes down to 6 because of accuracy, and goes down to 5 because of blind spot. So 2d10. 2 hits, 1 perfect. A perfect hit means it's going to get a temporary -1 speed token. Also, my damage is essentially doubled, or my damage roll is essentially doubled now because of specialization. I'm going to go ahead and make a blue dot to show that it's been slowed. And then top 2 cards, 1 and 2. Oh, God, of course. All right. She's going to take 4 brain damage. Bring her down to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and knock her down. Yeah, it is what it is. And then shuffle. No one else is nearby, so that's safe at least. And that's it for Ringo. I'm probably just going to leave her there for now. She's kind of okay. I'll go ahead and send Hitate in next. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to go here. Actually, 5. Yeah, we're going to go around all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and just go all in with Beast Knuckle Blood Paint combo. She does not have plus speed in this. Actually, she does have plus speed because of the White Lion set. All right. So first attack is going to be paired, so that brings it up to 4 attacks, and then 5 because of speed. So 5d10. Her accuracy is -1 because she's blind, and she can't crit. All right. So -1, and she's in a blind spot, so it's going to be on 6s. That is 3 hits. Alright. Alright, I get to pick. She actually has, she is insane at the, or not insane in the moment. So she can spin survival and all that good stuff. Alright. She still loses survival from events, so if it says you lose survival, then that's that pretty much. Now, in situations where events force her to spend a survival point, I think that would actually be a problem. So that's something I should have probably been paying attention to more often. There's all those border cases all over the place in this game. 4 strength for the Qatar. Hitate is 4 strength base, so that's going to bring it up to 8. And then plus 2 strength because of this armor set, so 10. Alright, that is a wound. I did it to the palate first. And then top card goes away. Boop. And then I'm going to go for the muzzle next. And then the throat. It doesn't really matter because she can't crit. All of them wound. There we go. Boop and boop. Alright. And that's it for her. I could surge and keep wailing on this thing, but I'm not going to just yet. I'm going to go ahead and have... I'm going to go ahead and have Yuka move it into attack. Yuka has no additional speed. She has 1 accuracy, it looks like. Yep, 1 accuracy. Her swords are 5 accuracy, so it's going to be 4s on the hit. 2d10, hits on 4s, 1 hit. Top card. Alright, and then it's going to be 1d10 plus 3 for the weapon. Yuka has 5 strength, so that brings it up to 8. That is a wound, not a crit, because I don't think she has luck. She doesn't. She has deadly, but that only brings it down to a 9. Alright, so that is a wound to that location. I'm going to go ahead and have her surge. I'll roll 1d10 to see if she keeps the point. She doesn't. And then I'll roll 2 more attacks. 1 hit. Top card. Alright. Alright, that is a wound again. And it's going to cause this, it's going to kick backwards. I'm going to go ahead and have Hitate spend a survival point to dash, so she can avoid the reaction, because she's not attacking, so she can still spend. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and have her surge, and search a plant while she's here. 1d10. 7. She'll gain her survival back. Boop. Alright, and we'll get rid of that plant. Alright, and that takes care of that reaction. I'm going to go ahead and stay in place, I think. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's going to go monster... Well, let's see, how many things did we do? We did 5, so literally we don't know what the next card is. Monster Controller is going to go ahead and shift over to Ringo, which is fine. She's knocked down. And boop. Top card. Oh, it was stop and sort. Perfect. Random survivor in range. That is everybody. So I'm going to base it off the tabs above. So 1d4, 1 is Yuka, 4 is Ringo. 1 is Yuka, 2 is Ringo, 3 is Hitate, 4 is Shikiaki. 3 is Hitate. Turn to face the target and roll 1d10. And on a 4+, it's going to do essentially 2 brain damage and knockdown. And if they're insane, it'll do knockback 5. So it's on Hitate. So she'll turn this way. And then roll 1d10. Alright, it's going to do 2 damage to Hitate. She is not insane. So, and it's going to do knockdown. Like so. Alright. And then it's going to do Diabolical. I'm kind of okay with letting it just trample her because she's already knocked down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll roll a hit location. 1d6. It's going to be the legs to Ringo. So 2 damage to her legs. Boop. Alright. And then that is it for that. And now it's our move again. I'm going to go ahead and have Shikiaki search this plant. 1d10. 6, gain a survival point. Perfect. So she's at 2. I'm going to go ahead and spend it to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just so I can kind of get her. I do still need to get a wound off on her, too. So that takes care of that. Ringo gets back up, by the way, because she was knocked down during her turn. And let's go ahead and get started again. So I need to get a wound with Ringo still, so let's go ahead and make our 2 attacks. 2d10, blind spot, both hit. Top 2 cards. Of course! So Ringo's going to take another 4 brain damage and get knocked back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting her here. And this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Well, Yuka will go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go ahead and spend a survival point. I'll roll to see if I keep the point. And I'm shouting up Hitate here. Hitate will go ahead and search the acanthus plant. That's nearby. Uh, 6 is +1 survival for Hitate. Then she'll spend that survival to go ahead and shout up Ringo. And then Ringo is going to go ahead and dash and surge. Also, she loses her evasion token. She lost that a while ago. She's going to go here, and she's going to search the acanthus plant. She gets 2d10 plus 2 because of the sickle and the bracers. So 2d10 plus 2, probably going to be acanthus plants. There we go. So fresh acanthus, copy. This brings us back up to a net of 2. And we'll take out that one. Alright, so that was her dash and surge. Still have Hatate's movement. I'm just checking one thing, though. Okay, she can do it. Yep. So, move here. And she's going to go ahead and search that other plant. 1d10. 2, she's going to take damage. Yep, 1 damage to the arms. Boop. Alright. And then that is it, unless I want to surge with Yuka, or dash with Yuka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and dash with Yuka, roll to keep the point. She doesn't, and then I'll surge after I dash. And she keeps that point. So she loses 1 point. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and search the plant that she's on. 1d10. 7 is gain 1 survival. Bring her back up to 5. Alright, so that leaves 1 acanthus plant on the board. Not a big deal. And then monster controller is going to shift. Also, I need to reshuffle these, so I'm going to do that now. Alright. Next, it's going to be monster controller is going to be Hatate. And no turning around yet. I need to actually roll, see what the next attack is. It's going to be back kick. Closest threat in range, no target graze. So, no one's in a blind spot. No one's in range. She has Antelope has 8 movement, so it only gets to about there. But it can graze. When grazing, it's going to do a full move to the closest acanthus plant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm adjacent. I do get to eat it. And I'll heal 1. And then it's going to take the top card of the wound deck and put it on the bottom. So there you go. So it does heal 1. And now there's no more acanthus plants. Diabolical will go ahead and trigger. It's going to kill in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like so. Alright. It is now our moves. Shikiaki will go ahead. Well, actually, 1. Trying to see what my options are. I still need to get a hit in with Ringo. So we'll go ahead and just start with her first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll attack twice. 2 hits, 1 perfect, so we'll go ahead and add a slow. 1 and 2. Okay. Okay. I can do something with this. So, getting a perfect hit with the club gives me, like, something ridiculous. When attacking with a club on a perfect hit, double your wounded tip total on the first hit selected location. Not that it matters. So, I'm going to go ahead and roll 1d10. 3 for the club. Ringo has 5 strength, so that brings it up to 8. Then that's it. So 1d10 plus 8. Alright, so I'm going for the ear first. I should have said that ahead of time. I apologize. So Ringo has 1 luck, so that brings it down to 9, and then it goes to 8 and 7 because it's a club. But that's not enough to crit, unfortunately. But it's enough to wound, so that's something. And then we'll go for the furry tail next. Same result. Alright. Alright, she got her wounds in. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and have her surge. And do a 2d10. No hits. Alright. Takes care of all that. Also, I had Thrill Seeker. I don't remember. She searched a plant, I think. I don't remember. Well, actually, I don't remember if she searched the plant or not. I'll just assume I didn't, and that's just my bad if I forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So everyone else is just out of range, which sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and have Yuka search the bug patch. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm just out of range for that bug patch, so never mind. Shekieki will search the bug patch. 1d10. 9. That's just going to get us a random vermin. Cyclops Fly. You can kill yourself, 30% chance, or 50% chance of getting +1 accuracy. Alright, and that takes care of all the plants. So we're just going to put the train away. Alright, takes care of that. Bug patch goes away. Alright, yeah, I think it's going to have to go with Yuka. So Yuka, go ahead and do your thing. I'm going to send her dashing this way. So roll 1d10 to keep the point. She doesn't. She's been having bad luck with that. And then she'll use her normal action to attack twice. Hits on 4s. Yeah, +1 accuracy, she hits on 4s. 2 hits. Alright. Super dense, not a big deal. And then, alright, so I get to roll first and then pick the location, so I'll do that. It was like 1d10 plus 10, I think. Oh yeah, it's definitely... I even forgot about the Monster Tooth necklace. So it was 3 for the sword. Yuka has 5 strength. So yeah, it should have been 10 because of the Monster Tooth necklace and the affinities. So 1d10 plus 10. 12. I get to pick the location. I'll pick the giant teeth. And then I'll go for the restless chest next. 1d10. Wound. And then it's going to turn to face the attacker and full move forward in a straight line. Like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She's going to take damage. 2 damage to her head. Which is enough to knock her down with a heavy wound. Holy cow, that's dangerous. Alright, she's in danger. And then Hitate, I'll send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it, because she can't get anywhere. Alright, Monster Controller is going to shift over to Shikieki. Top card. Bolt, closest knockdown survivor. Oh dear. Alright. So it's going to be her. Antelope does have a -1 speed token temporarily. So closest knockdown survivor. It's going to make 1 attack. That's definitely a hit. And the accuracy is 2, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just have Yuka dodge it so she doesn't take any damage. She dodges it, keeps the point too. Alright, and then I have to roll 1d2. 1 is Yuka, 2 is Hitate. Alright, it's gonna do diabolical on Hitate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to do 2 damage to the waist. And knock her down. Alright, Yuka gets back up because she was knocked down during her turn. The slow effect wears off. I'm going to go ahead and have Yuka shout up Hitate. I'll roll to see if I keep the point. I do not. Thankfully that doesn't take an action. And then I'm going to move her away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just moving her away because if she gets caught in the trap card, she will potentially die. So I'm gonna play it safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Shikieki is going to attack. She has 1 accuracy. Attacking the blind spot, Butcher Cleaver has 5 accuracy, so it's going to go down to 3s. So 2d10 hits twice. She is definitely insane, so no worries there. 1 and 2. Okay. I have to strike this if attacker's insane, cancel hits and end their attack. Alright, so we have to cancel. I'll have her surge now. And make 2 more attacks. 2 hits, 1 perfect, none that matters. Alright. Okay. Alright, I'll go for Tiny Restless Hands first. It's going to be 1d10 plus 5 for the axe. And Shikiaki has 2 strength, so that brings it up to 7. And no other bonuses. So 1d10 plus 7. 14 is a wound. And then the next one's going to be for the hoof. Critical hit to the hoof. We'll get a Screaming Antelope resource. First, I'll make sure she doesn't have minus luck or anything. She doesn't. Okay. Top card goes away. Alright, Screaming Antelope resource. Gimme. Got a pelt. And now we have a persistent injury of destroyed hoof, which will affect things like back kick. Alright, and that is it for her. Next is going to be Yuka. I'm a little concerned about Yuka, to be honest, but it's either that or I just let the next attack come in. How's Shikiaki doing? She's actually doing pretty well. One, two, three. There's fine, and then 1, 2. We'll do that. So we're just going to get in position and get ready to get wrecked by this thing. So we'll see what happens. So top card. Back kick. Destroyed hoof. The Screaming Antelope's lame lid gives out. It is knocked down. So good stuff there. Also monster controller would have been Yuka in this case. So good thing I waited. So now it is knocked down. Before it could do anything. And then we get to wail on it some more. I'm going to go ahead and have Shikiaki do the wailing. She hits on 3s now because knockdown. So 2d10. 2 hits. Top 2 cards. No trap cards. We'll go for tongue first. 1d10 plus 7, but also it's minus 2 toughness. That's a wound on an odd result, on an odd die roll. Gain 1 insanity. So Shikiaki is now up to 17 insanity. 20 plus is the danger zone, by the way. Oh, actually, no, never mind. No reactions because of knockdown. So never mind. You're 16 still. Still a wound, though. So top card goes there. And then second attack. Wounds. Alright, so no cards are left. Shikiaki will move out of the way. 1, 2. We'll go ahead and send... how's Ringo doing? We'll send Yuka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Okay. So no trap card. I just need to wound a location. So I get to roll and then decide the location. So 1d10 plus 10. Alright, that is 12. It has a toughness of 10, so that is a wound, that is a kill. Alright. We did it. Very messy fight, but it was still a success. We got Sword Mastery now. Ringo levels up. Hitate has Guitar Master and levels up. Shikiaki levels up and gets Axe Specialization. Masteries are innovations. So we gained them. So Sword Mastery, Guitar Mastery. Okay. Mastery. A sword master gains +1 accuracy, +1 strength, and +1 speed when attacking with a sword. All survivors gain sword specialization in addition to other weapon proficiencies. And then mastery is if you are a guitar master, gain +1 evasion token on a perfect hit with a guitar. When you are knocked down, remove all +1 evasion tokens. All survivors gain guitar specialization. So essentially, everyone gets the benefits of specialization. But still, you have to use that weapon in question. But it ensures that any newbie will be able to fight at least at specialization level. So very useful there. We have a bunch of age events, so I want to go ahead and take care of those immediately. We'll start with alright, so Ringo first. This is the third age event, it looks like. Yep, third age event. So 2d10. Experience sharpens your instincts, roll on the table below. 12. Gain 1 random fighting art. Extra sense on Ringo, who doesn't actually have it. I did have Rhythm Chaser, Leader, and Thrill Seeker. I'm going to get rid of Thrill Seeker. Also, we've been getting freaking extra sense like almost every time. And you've seen me, you saw I was shuffling. I shuffled even in the beginning of the video, too. So you know it's legit. But yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But extra sense, not too shabby. Next is Hitate, who also is getting tier 3 age. So 2d10. 9, also random fighting art. Double dash. During your act, once per round, you may spend action to do another move. Really useful because it does save on a bunch of survival. It's not something you can do as a reaction, though. So double dash on Hitate. So double dash. Boop. And boop, and boop. And then Shikiaki gets age 1. And I'm pretty sure that's also a fighting art. It's just like a lump sum. Like in the beginning, we got nothing but stat rolls for our level ups, and now we're getting everything else. Oh, actually, no, this is age 2. Yep, it's age 2. So it's not a fighting art, it's +1 strength. So there you go. Awesome. So it's something other than a fighting art for once. Alright, and then nothing else to note for those. +2 hunt experience, which you already took care of, +1 weapon proficiency, and then we need to do the rewards. So let's do that. So we get, what is it, 6 basic and 7... 7 screaming antelope. Okay. So 1, 2. Let's get these out of the way. 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. We got the bladder, so we can get more blood paint. Bunch of beefsteaks, some pelts, a lot of organs. Not exactly. I don't think I have any use for organs right now. Well, maybe. Actually, there might be some uses for organs. We'll know in a second. And then the basic resources. 1, 2, and then there's also the broken lantern or the scrap that we got for mining. So 6 basic resources. Survivor choice gets +1 insanity. I'm going to pick Hitate, bring her up to 1. Okay. And then further down, after all the reward in the same reward tab, if the settlement has pottery when they defeat a level 2+ Screaming Antelope. Gain the Barber Surgeon settlement location. We have we got pottery last settlement phase, so we now get the Barber Surgeon. I don't remember exactly. I think originally you had to like spend resources to get the Barber Surgeon. I don't remember exactly. Actually, it might have still been the same. But in any case, we now have the Barber Surgeon. So Barber Surgeon gives us access to even more like fancy accessories and things like that. So fancy things. We now have access to Almanac, but we don't have Pictograph, I don't think. Actually, we do have Pictograph, don't we? Nope, we don't have Pictograph. And then the other one was what? If you have pottery? No. That wouldn't make any sense. Oh, it is. Okay, pottery. So there's Musk Bomb, Elder Earrings, Speed Powder, Bug Trap, Brain Mint, First Aid Kit, and the Scavenger Kit. And then you can do trepanning, where you can suffer intracranial hemorrhaging, which I'm pretty sure a certain character would be very familiar with. You can cure a disorder. You can cure intracranial hemorrhaging. Renzuki can be cured. Otherwise, you can also get a random fighting guard. It's only a 30% chance to cure it, though. But it's pretty funny that we finally learned how to do it. You can also, cause it with a 20% chance. All right. And since I'm here anyway, and this video's gone on super duper long, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. When we come back, we do get 2 additional endeavors because of the hunt event that we did earlier. So we get to mess around with that. But until then, I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this was Kingdom Death Monster 1.5. See you guys next time.